Lust is one of the most powerful and primal forces in the human experience. It begins in the brain, not the body. And while it often feels like a reaction to the physical form, it's rooted deep in evolutionary psychology, neurobiology, and social conditioning. At its core, lust is the intense desire for sexual gratification. It's driven by basic survival instincts, not just to reproduce, but to seek pleasure, reduce stress, and bond, even if only momentarily. The brain plays a central role. When lust is triggered, the hypothalamus releases hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, creating intense feelings of craving and reward. It activates the brain's reward system, similar to the way drugs or gambling do. The ventral tegmental area and nucleus accumbens light up, signaling pleasure and motivation. Unlike love, which involves deep attachment, lust is immediate. It's focused, consuming, often impulsive. And while love activates areas of the brain associated with empathy, long-term bonding, and emotional regulation, lust bypasses those areas, narrowing the focus on physical attraction and arousal. But why do we feel lust so strongly for some people and not others? Visual cues play a role. Facial symmetry, body proportions, scent, voice tone, even movement patterns influence how our brains perceive potential mates. These preferences are often shaped by evolutionary factors, like indicators of health, fertility, or genetic diversity, but also by personal experience, cultural norms, and media exposure. Hormones also shape how lust behaves. Testosterone fuels desire in both men and women. Higher levels typically lead to increased libido, though psychological and relational context matters just as much. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can suppress or intensify lust depending on the situation. Oxytocin and vasopressin, often associated with bonding and affection, can blur the line between lust and love. Lust can be irrational. It can override logic and values. It can draw people toward danger, betrayal, or obsession. This is because lust temporarily shuts down parts of the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for judgment, risk evaluation, and long-term planning. What's left is impulse, raw craving, and tunnel vision. In relationships, lust can play many roles. It can spark the first connection or revive a fading bond. But when lust is mistaken for love, or when it's used to mask emotional emptiness, it can lead to confusion, disillusionment, or emotional dependency. The brain doesn't always distinguish between short-term arousal and deeper attachment, which is why early infatuation can feel like forever, even when it's fleeting. Digital media has changed how lust is experienced. Constant exposure to idealized images can alter brain chemistry, raising expectations and dulling natural response. Pornography, for instance, can trigger excessive dopamine release, which in some cases leads to desensitization, addiction-like patterns, or difficulty experiencing real-life intimacy with the same intensity. Lust is not inherently bad. It's not a weakness. It's a signal, a biological flare that tells the brain something or someone has triggered a surge of attention and desire. It's what we do with that signal that defines the experience. It can lead to connection or destruction, growth or obsession. Understanding the psychology of lust helps people better navigate its influence. Recognizing when it's genuine attraction, when it's compulsion, and when it's being manipulated by deeper unmet needs. It also allows for healthier intimacy, more intentional relationships, and a clearer view of how desire shapes our thoughts and behaviors. In the end, lust is part of what makes us human. It's ancient, instinctual, and powerful. And by understanding it, we don't lose control, we gain it.